What is going on, Sports Game Vision world? Sports Game Vision is hosted by your guy here, or your man here named Hank. You are now in tuned into the sounds of the No Face Sports Show here at Sports Game Vision. Back again, guys. Sports is always going on, so there's always something to talk about. And I'm gonna pull up this picture here, and you're gonna see a little bit about what I'm talking about today. Of course, my guy Jokic in the NBA. We're talking about Ole Miss and that crazy story down there in the college football playoffs with Lane Kiffin and his drama, and Stranger Things, which is a cultural phenomenon, but it also ties into sports. We're going to talk about that here today on the No Face Sports Show here at Sports Game Vision. If you tap in right now, you're watching wherever you're at, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, follow, join, all the good likable buttons for the show and the platform. It definitely helps it grow so we can continue to do what we do here. But we're going to get started. As you saw in the picture here, you see, my guy Jokic at the very top of it, and we're going to tap right in. We already seen this past week, he got injured. We never really see him injured that much. It's a shock to the system. We see OKC is the world champions. They are the NBA champions, the young fiery team out there in Oklahoma, and Denver already got a chip and they want to get another one. Jokic career, he's Hall of Famer already, but he's trying to put even more stats up to become considered the greatest of all time. I do believe he is the best right now. Obviously, you got to put Giannis and Shea up in there as far as the best in the league, and you want to throw Luka in there. But it's really Jokic. He's been running the show for quite a while now. And this year he's putting up great numbers, not even individually for the season, but he's putting up a lot of historic numbers for himself career-wise. I think he passed, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the most career assists for a center. And he's not that far away from breaking Russell Westbrook's triple-double record for a career. Not that far behind. He could possibly break it this year, the way he's going. But yeah, he got hurt on a freak accident. As you can see here, he's laying on the ground. Hyperextension of his knee. Someone fell in the back of him while trying to get a rebound and defend. And he's out. So he didn't tear anything, but he will be out for quite some time. As they're saying, about at least a 4-week evaluation. Over a month's time, basically about 17 games, he will be out. They will be without him in this stretch, and that's a lot of games. Now, the good thing is they're not playing a lot of teams that are top notch, top tier. But again, having your best player out plus the injury bug that they have right now with, their center out. Who else? Their other guy Cam's out. Aaron Gordon's out. Christian Braun is out. They're expected to be back pretty soon. Cam will not be back until I think next month. So Jokic might even be back before him. But it's just crazy. And then reports came out today that their backup, Valanciunas, is out for about 4 weeks. So it's going to be tough juggling around the pieces, trying to keep the team at that top spot. They might drop a little bit, or these role players, and of course we're getting Braun and Gordon back, they could hold it up. Maybe even do something like the Boston Celtics are doing out in the East, which I did not expect after losing, JT, and then losing Holiday and losing big fella, the unicorn. They traded him to Atlanta. Well, I can't think of his name. You guys know what I mean. He's out. He got traded as well, and the Boston Celtics are still doing well and near the top of the division. So hopefully the Denver Nuggets can do the same thing. And it's a tough loss for them. But my thing is this: with him being out, do you think the league should change the 65 game rule? Because obviously, he's an MVP, multiple-time MVP. You could say he could have won it, even the times that other players have gotten it, including Embiid and Shea. But this year, especially, he was on the path to get it. He's fifth in the league in points, 29.6. He is first in rebounds, in 12.2. He is first in assists, 11.0. He's shooting crazy from the field, 60%. And he's also shooting, I believe, 40-something percent from the three-point line. So his numbers are insane. And he was probably going to get the MVP, but he's going to miss these 17 games. I believe he'll only have wiggle room to miss one more after that. And more than likely, he'll probably sit out later in the season, depending on his injury, or they just want to rest him a little bit for the playoffs. So it's very possible he's not going to make that number. Do you think they should change the rule? Because more than likely he would win the MVP again. In the end of the day, it's about him winning the championship, but I don't think they should change the rule. The players put themselves in this position by not playing games and that they could have played. So it hurts players like this who are really hurt and probably would have won a lot more awards had, the rule not been changed. But of course, the player empowerment and big contracts changed everything. And now the league had to do what it had to do to protect their money as far as sponsorship and licensing, and also the opinion of fans and what they're seeing out there. They want the fans to be happy as well. So I hope that Jokic gets better. Come back, big fella. We're rooting for you. Have an opportunity to go after another championship. And Denver, I think, should be okay in the next few weeks. They'll get through it. We're going to move on to the next topic here. We don't want to hold you long. We know it's a big sports night and it's the weekend. But we're going to talk about a little bit of college football. And if you know, the last month or so, the big story has been about Lane Kiffin taking the job at LSU and leaving Ole Miss in a year where they have a great shot of winning a national championship, making the college football playoff as a pretty high seed, only one loss at the time. And he decided to take a job. They're saying it's the job of his dreams and all that stuff. But he left his players and his coaches out to dry. And then on top of that, he was forcing a lot of those coaches to make a decision to whether they were coming or not. But just to our surprise, Ole Miss won 2 games in a row in these college football playoffs, and they're just a couple of wins away from winning the big one. And you see the coach, Paul Golding, right there at the podium, winning it over Georgia, which was a pretty good game. I watched most of that yesterday, plus the other bowl games, which were pretty good as well, besides the first one, which was a blowout. But either way, they put out a great victory over Georgia, avenging a loss, and they moved forward. And as we could look at the board here, the graph of the 12-team playoff, we see that they will face Miami, who beat Ohio State, and of course Oregon facing off against Indiana, who put belt to Alabama, and Oregon put belt to Texas Tech. So it's just crazy to see this. Ole Miss would have been a great story if Georgia would have won, because they would have faced the quarterback from last year. But this is even a better story because of the way Kiffin left. Sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. He's blaming the administration for not letting him stay, but they're saying a different story, and the players are saying a different story as well, that he planned on leaving and he didn't want to stay throughout the bowls. I think a good get back for this organization, this team, was to win it all. And they could looks like they'll face maybe one of those, obviously we know one of the two, Indiana or Oregon, but I would definitely love to see Indiana and Ole Miss in that championship game. It will be a great story. Both programs, Ole Miss hasn't won in over 60 years. Indiana hasn't won, I don't know, ever, but they definitely haven't been there in a long time, and they're a Cinderella story because they're a basketball program now winning in football with the NIL money transfer program. And I think that's what I want to talk about here is, do you think that they should change the transfer portal and make it after all these bowl games so that players can't leave out, and also the coaches? The coaches are under pressure to leave too because they want to build the organizations that they're possibly going to early on, get their recruits, start to build their program to a championship level. If they move it out of the way after the bowl games, could it be that Kiffin could have stayed? And maybe the organization, maybe so Ole Miss didn't want him to stay, but either way, it would have been after all this chaos that's going on. Nobody would have had to leave. They could have been, full of players, full of coaches after a national championship. Now, right now, it's working out without them. They're going on to this semifinal, and then if they win again, get to the national championship. Right now, just what they've done now has been awesome because they won 2 rounds already without him. They win 3 and 4. Man, it'll be a huge story. I don't know if it'll be pie on his face, but I know that the school and the players will feel that way. And right now, again, some of those coaches with the transfer portal being open today might leave. We know that reports are saying that a lot of them want to stay, but it's a lot of pressure, and it's pressure that's unnecessary with a lot of rule changes to protect the schools, the players, and the coaches, and make the flow for these teams to be right. When you're in a bowl game, coaches should not be leaving to go to another school. So I think they need to change that. But either way, I'm honestly kind of rooting for them to go ahead on and win, at least get to that championship game, because that will look really bad on Kiffin and his decision to leave. So obviously, we know there's going to be more reports coming out about who's right and who's wrong, but this is what's out there right now. That's all we got to go off of. But of course, you let me know what you think in the comment section about whether he's right or wrong, and do you feel that it's a great thing to see them move on to the next round. But as we move forward here at the No Face Sports Show, we're going to tie into the next thing that I put into the graph, and that is Stranger Things, the cultural phenomenon finally coming to a close after 5 seasons. We've got to see them over quite some years. There's some separation in the show, and we've seen them grow up. The kids grow up into adults now. And again, I watched this with the family. It was a good send off. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I know some of you may have not watched it yet, but it's a good send off. I will say this about the show: I do believe that there's going to be some spinoffs from the way that they ended the show. You can see it even before they ended it, but definitely when they end the show, there's such thing as that they call. They don't have enough time for it, but they try to see if things will work for spinoffs in television shows. And I do think that we all know Vecna. I think there's going to be something with him in the future. I do think there's going to be spinoffs with some of the other younger characters and some of the older characters. You got to see it and watch it for yourself. But they're definitely going to do some spinoffs. I think that they're too popular not to do it. And also, I believe these characters are young enough to where they can bring this show back in some years. We've seen Dexter come back. We've seen Big Bang Theory spent off. We've seen Full House come back. We've seen Roseanne come back. All of them had young characters. Some of them are obviously older, but the thing is, if it's popular enough, they'll bring it back. These characters are young enough to where they can tell a great story later on in their careers and in their lives and in the universe of Stranger Things. So looking forward to it. They already confirmed that I think there's some cartoon coming out, spinoff after this. But we say all that to say on Monday, there's going to be a Stranger Things Raw episode for WWE. So it ties into sports. Everything ties into sports, doesn't it? It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this happens. I remember WWE did something with, I forgot what movie it was. Was it Resident Evil? I forgot. They had zombies on, I believe it was Raw. It was either Raw or SmackDown. They had zombies coming out fighting the wrestlers. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Stranger Thing cross brand. Obviously, being Netflix, Raw being new to Netflix, Stranger Things being a brand on Netflix. Great. It'll be great to see what they're going to do to incorporate everything. But I'm definitely going to tune in and see how they're going to do it. Hopefully, not too crazy, but even if it's cheesy, it's something to talk about and definitely laugh over. But let me know what you think in the comment section about the Stranger Things show. Do you hate to see it leave? Again, I do think it's coming back. It's just an ending for now. And yeah, the Stranger Things Raw episode for WWE, that's going to be interesting. Let me know what you think about that as well. But that's all I got. Jokic, hate to see that he's out for quite a time, but he'll be back. He should be able to get the MVP. It's just sad that the players have made it hard on the league to make that rule. Let me know what you think about that. Kiffin and Ole Miss, hopefully those coaches stay throughout the whole playoffs, not even just the next round. I think they deserve it. Of course, the players do as well. They have a shot at winning the championship. Do you think they need to make rule changes to transfer portals and the way they handle coaches leaving the program? And finally, Stranger Things and Raw. Let me know what you think about Stranger Things, calling it quits, and also what you think about what they're going to do at WWE Raw. Like, share, subscribe, follow. The No Face Sports Show. You're now tuned into the sounds, and I'll be signing off till next time. Have a good one. Peace. And Happy New Year.